Heads up, 20 ups, it's Friday, and look, I've got a green screen.
Don't listen to me. I'm a legend of archery. Don't listen to me.
So, I'm just gonna talk to you about my epic week so far. It has been the best week ever. I couldn't possibly imagine any of this going the way it did, but it's been just epic and awesome and full of stuff. So, it starts out, my friend and I built this. It's a fig rig, and it has the camera in the middle, and it's supposed to steady your shots a bit more, so it's a lot less shaky rather than if you're just holding the camera still with just your hands. So it takes out a bunch of the shakes, not all of them granted, but most of them, and it's really useful and it's awesome. So my friend and I built that, and then most of the epic week pretty much started on Sunday. Sunday, I got out of work at 6 in the morning, around 6:30 actually, and I came home, took a shower, packed my bags, and we were off to Hartford, Connecticut for Warped Tour. And that was entirely awesome. So, it's a 2.5 hour drive, and I was planning to sleep in the car on the drive, but I was too excited to sleep, and I didn't sleep at all. And I woke up at 9 p.m. on Saturday and got ready for work and went to work for that 8-hour shift, so I had the most sleep possible before going to work. And I was just going to take a nap in the car. So, I've been awake since 9 p.m. at this point. We get to Hartford, and we wait in this huge crowd waiting to get through the main gate to get to the show. As soon as we're through the gate, there's this band playing acoustically just past the gate, and they were really good. They were amazing, and they were like a folkish rock band, and they had mandolins, upright bass, guitars, and the drums, and it was a pretty cool setup, and they sounded good, and I was like, I have to remember their name and check them out later at some point. So I took down their name, and we went on our way, and we met our friends about 10 minutes later, because we came in two groups. Me and my friend came from Saugerties, and my other friends went from Burlington, Vermont. So we met up at around the 3DS tent, and after we met up, we made our way to the pending tent, just so I could let them all know that I was there, and to expect me. And from there we went to check out a bunch of bands. There were like 100 bands, and there was absolutely no way to see all of these bands play at all. There were 8 stages, and so many bands. It went from 11:30 to like 8:30 at night. And granted, I have absolutely no sleep at this point, because I was up since 9 p.m. the night before, so I was up for a full 24 hours that day. So tired. So, we see a bunch of bands. The most notable ones I need to mention are MC Lars and Weird Science. Warped Tour is known for being a punk-style show thing, like punk bands and stuff, but they are just a bunch of rappers, and they are really good. And I need to mention Weird Science mostly because they're from Kingston, New York, which is one town over from me. So it was kind of weird that they were playing at Warped Tour and we're all from the same general area. And so after we saw Weird Science, we hung around for a bit, and I looked on the schedule and I noticed the band that was playing at the main gate when we walked in, they were on soon, so we made our way over to their stage, and I have to say, it was the most amazing set ever. They had said that it was their first time on Warped Tour, so they're a fairly new, upcoming band, I guess you could say. And it was just the greatest find. I don't think I'm going to find another band that great this year. They're called Larry and His Flask, and they're just amazing. They've got this amazing vibe. They're so energetic. I don't know how the guy with the stand-up bass can move around the stage so fast and so much and get into the crowd and then get back up on stage. so fast with that stand-up bass in his hand. It's crazy. They were so energetic. It was fun. Greatest band at Warped Tour, in my opinion. So, after that, we hung around for a bit. We saw Simple Plan. My friends went to see A Day to Remember. And a bunch of other stuff. And at 5, Less Than Jake came on. And I stayed for the first 3 songs about 10 minutes into their set because at 5:20 Patent Pending was playing, and I was kind of upset that they were scheduled so close together, which means I couldn't fully see Less Than Jake's set before having to go to see Patent Pending. But whatever, it was well worth it because halfway through Patent Pending's set, they called me up on stage at Warped Tour, and it's amazing. And we did the Rubik's Cube thing again. But it was more like a battle between me and this one girl who said she could do it too. And so I handed my Rubik's Cube to the guitarist to scramble it for me. And one of the pieces came flying off while he was scrambling it, so I couldn't solve it. So, off the top of his head, Joe says, "You know what? Let's do it this way. You both have to solve the cube by the end of the song." So, the song starts, she starts scrambling it. Halfway through the song, she finishes, scrambles it for me, and hands it to me, and I start going at it. So she hands me the cube, and I start going at it as fast as I could, because I really wanted to finish before the end of the song, and I knew it was going to be difficult. And I got about halfway through solving the cube, and I made one mistake, and it set me back so far, and if I didn't make that one mistake, I would have finished it before the end of the song. So close. So close. So, at the end of the song, Joe gave me a final 10-second countdown, giving me an extra, 10 seconds to solve it. But it wasn't enough. So he turns to the crowd and starts going on how it's not our fault that it happened, it's the guitarist's fault. And while he's doing this little speech, I just finish it up quickly and hand it to him. So, I finished it, but it was about 30 seconds after the song ended. It was a lot of fun, though. I enjoyed it. Patent Pending is the best. And I was having so much fun on that stage that it didn't even occur to me that I was on stage, we were at Warped Tour, there's this huge crowd of people watching me. That did not cross my mind in the slightest. I was just up there having a lot of fun. It was like the next night at work. It was like Monday night around midnight when I finally had a moment to stop and think about it, when I was like, oh my god, I was at Warped Tour on stage in front of everyone. And it didn't occur to me for the longest time, and it's just insane. So, that was amazing. After Patent Pending set, all my friends went over to the amphitheater to see the last few bands start going. And I stuck around Patent Pending's tent because they were doing an acoustic set with a few songs. So I hung around there for a bit. And then I met my friends in the giant amphitheater, where there were 2 stages going back and forth with a lot of bands. And then we went home, and like I said, I went to bed. I fell asleep in the car at around 9, up for a full 24 hours. Tiring, amazing day. So, the next day, I woke up early because I slept from 9 p.m. until about 10 a.m. And about 12:30ish, I called my friend up, the same one who works at the bookstore who has the Harry Potter posters, same friend. And the same friend who helped me build this fig rig. On Saturday, a kitten showed up in his neighborhood, a stray little kitten. It was only about 8 weeks old. So, a stray kitten showed up in his neighborhood, and he's allergic to cats. and he felt really bad for it, so he couldn't keep it because he's allergic, but he wanted to make sure that it got to a good home, or whoever lost it would find it. So he spent the next couple of days calling vet offices, calling the ASPCA, asking if anyone's reported a missing kitten, and nobody reported one that matched the description of this kitten. So it was out there for a couple of days, and then it was there for Saturday and Sunday, and then on Monday it rained. So even though he's allergic to cats, he decided to bring it into his room anyways, just so it didn't have to be outside in the rain. So on Monday, after he'd brought it inside, I went over to his house to see the kitten, and it was adorable. Just this cute little kitten. I'm going to probably splice some pictures in throughout this part. And so another one of our friends said that she would take the kitten as long as it was like healthy, didn't have fleas or ticks, because she has other cats and she didn't want anything to get onto her other cats already. So we called the vet office in town, and they were busy all day, so we called the vet office the next town over, and we made an appointment, and we drove over there for to get this cat checked out, and it was really healthy. It had ear mites, which is, according to them, very common in cats and easy to get rid of. So that was good. No fleas. We put flea and tick stuff on it anyway, just to be 100% sure. And we also got a test done to see if it had feline leukemia or feline AIDS, and it turned up negative for both of those. And it was awesome, and we all chipped in to split the cost of the vet bill. And in a matter of hours, we took a stray kitten and found it a home. And oh, the cat was so cute. I miss it. I really do. If you met this cat, there's no way to meet this cat and not get emotionally attached to it so quickly. It was adorable. It was talkative. It's one hell of a character. It has an amazing personality. It's not something you see in very many cats, and I need to, at some point, go over to her house and visit the kitten again because it's so cute. So, on Monday we saved a kitten's life. Sunday I went to Warped Tour. And on Tuesday, for most of the day it was pretty boring. But at about 6:30, Tim helped me pack everything into my car, and I brought my drums and my guitar over to open mic, and I played in front of people for the first time with a setup of my one-man band. And it was awesome. It turned out well, except that during transportation, the springs on the foot pedals got really loose, so it was really difficult to actually hit the drums. So it wasn't like amazing or anything, but considering it was my first time, it turned out pretty well. I was really impressed with how it turned out. And that has been epic week so far. I also bought Missplosion Man the other day, and that's been taking up the past 2 days of my life. And on Sunday, I'm going down to New York City to see a play called Girlfriend from Hell, which a friend of mine is a part of and is in. So that's been epic week, and I could not even imagine asking for everything that's happened this week, everything that's gonna happen this week. It's just been amazing and wonderful, and in all honesty, awesome. In the purest sense, in the exact definition of awesome, it's been awesome. If I was going to tell you how this week went, I would have just said, I'm going to Warped Tour and I'm going to see a play down in New York. And it would have just been that. That's what my description would have been last week of what I'm doing this week. But it turned out so much more than that, and I really, really can't believe I had so much happen in such a short time. It's been amazing. So, I will see TJ on Sunday, and I will see the rest of you throughout the week, and I added to Rima's theme week discussion on your pans. Bye.